First of all, thank you very much for having me here to probably share a little bit about my journey. I am very much fortunate because of I am not only have the opportunity being a student in MMU, but also I have the opportunity to being a staff in MMU. So I have the opportunity to see from both sides, being the students and being the staff of MMU. So I studied in MMU starting in 2001. At that time, I took foundation in engineering and I continue with engineering electronics, majoring in computer. So one thing that I noticed while I was studying in MMU is the culture of MMU is so much different because of we have a lot of international students back then. You have the cream of the cream, people from Nigeria, people from Middle East, people from, and of course in Malaysia we have Malay, Chinese, and we mix together. So the culture of competing with not only the locals but with the foreigners is something that I think it exposed me early in my life while I was in the university. So I don't have to go abroad, overseas to experience that. I can experience it in MMU. While studying engineering, I noticed that I have a lot of interest being active in club and societies. I am a little bit of underground student back then, and I am very much passionate about playing guitar, music, and I became the president for Music Society, and based on that, I think it develops a little bit about my perspective of dealing with dealing with people, and that sharpens my perhaps leadership capability during in MMU. So I think it is very important to have that exposure of academics and also being active in association societies because of it. The combination of this makes who I am today. So while working in MMU is another interesting experience that I have because of I can see from the perspective of staff, how do we view students. Of course, I don't deal directly with staff, but I can see it reflected on myself when I was in students. So to me, it's a great pleasure, a great opportunity for me to be having those perspectives. As I mentioned just now, I studied in MMU as an engineer for 5 years, and I worked as an engineer for 3 years. But while working as an engineer, one thing that I reflected that I cannot see myself 10 years down the road being engineer or being the senior who have been working there for the past 10 years. It reflected on me that because a lot of people ask me, Johan, how do you become from engineer you become an entrepreneur, a speaker, a trainer? There was a turning point in 2008 whereby there is economic crisis, and during the economic crisis, I used to be a very hardworking engineer. I stayed back at night and tried to work hard, tried to make a contribution to the organization. But one thing that I noticed was in 2008, the economy was, our organization was badly affected because of most of the time we produce products that we ship to US and Europe, and because of the economic crisis, people don't buy our products, and that forced the operators to take forced leave. And as an engineer, I reflected, no matter how hard I work, there's nothing that I can do to change the life of all these operators. Then I started to think that probably marketing is the answer, because of if you become a marketeer, at least during the economic crisis, you can think of great ideas, do a little bit more marketing, and then you can at least provide jobs for those workers. So in 2009, I resigned and I joined an organization as a product marketing executive. Being a product marketing executive, I thought that if I do my best, I can provide more business to the organization and provide more jobs. But one day, I was asking my manager to give me a clear direction of what I should do. And my manager says that, Johan, how can I give you a clear direction? Our CEO also keep on changing direction. And that point of time, I noticed that it's not about engineering, it's not about marketing, everything falls down into leadership. So if you have a good leader in your organization, so chances are you're going to be, the organization or even the country is going to be prosper. And if you have bad leaders, chances are things are going to fall apart. And from that moment on, it created an interest on me to study about leadership. fortunately enough that I was accepted to work in university in MMU.